Welcome to West Coast Finest. Please subscribe and hit that bell so you do not miss any of our new videos. Yes, click the link below to visit our website and get your order in for our G&G hair growth butter. Yes, it is made with 100% all natural ingredients. And yes, it's me, your girl T, dropping another video.
Hi everyone, I'm going to be doing a little get ready with me while going over why I have no hair. So September is Alopecia Awareness Month, hence why I want to share my story. So I have an autoimmune condition called alopecia. So it all started when I was only 1.5. So my mum would do my hair and she would realise that I had a much higher hairline at the back of my head. At first we thought it was just the bubble, it was just a little bit too tight, but it then developed to a little like 20 pence piece size patch on the top of my head. So my mum took us to the doctors and I quote, they said, "Oh, it's just baby alopecia, it'll go away. It'll go away." The attitude of the doctor at the time was very dismissing and just kind of treated my mum as a very fussy parent. Even if he had took my mum a little bit more seriously, it wouldn't have changed the outcome, but it was just the concern for a very worried parent just wasn't there. I started to get more and more patches on my head, so I was eventually referred to a dermatologist at the hospital. So at around 2.5-year-old, that is when I was diagnosed with alopecia areata. So there are a few different types of alopecia that you can get. I started off with areata, which is basically patches on your scalp. At that point, and even to this day, there isn't a cure. And so my mum and dad asked, is there any like support groups or something we can go to? And there was no suggestions for that. So because I was so young, a lot of this was just on my mum and dad to deal with. So my patches did just keep on growing, and basically it got to a point where they just all joined into one. We tried various treatments to see if they would help, but nothing did. I was at around age 6 when I decided to shave my hair because I had tiny little strands of hair left. And at that point I had alopecia totalis, which is basically full scalp hair loss. As I grew older, I then started to realise that I was different to others. I would wonder why I was always getting stared at and no one else was. I was never bullied or anything like that, but I think the most challenging thing was the self-acceptance. And it could definitely be very lonely because I never saw anybody out there who looked like me. When I was around 13, that's when I started to lose my eyebrows. My brows would go half a brow at a time, and not long after, my lashes followed. Losing my lashes was definitely the hardest part and still is to this day. I would try my hardest to disguise losing my lashes, and I think that's where my love for makeup really started. So since age 15, I've had no hair on my body at all anywhere. And that form of alopecia is called alopecia universalis, and I've had it ever since. So I've dealt with this all my life, so I'm used to it now, and this is just me. I'm very lucky to have had such an amazing support system growing up, and that's the reason why I'm so okay with it now. And this is definitely one of the reasons I do what I do, so no one ever has to feel alone through this. I feel like there's so much more I want to talk about. Stories, so let me know if you've got any questions below. I'd love to answer them.
Hey! Out of all the things I've learned over the past few years having alopecia, self-love, beauty truly not being defined by your hair. The greatest thing I've learned is how to make eyebrows out of nothing. Literally nothing. I'm really proud of the eyebrow routine I created, so I'm going to show you my tricks. My first step are these temporary eyebrow tattoos that I get off of Amazon. They're really easy to use. I just cut them out and put them in place. Once the water gets on them, it's actually really hard to remove. So I spend a little time making sure that it's perfectly in place. And I actually had pretty thick eyebrows before I had alopecia, close to a unibrow. So I'm going for a bushy eyebrow look. Put some water on them when they are in place. And then I'm gonna peel them off. Okay. Magic. So it looks good, it looks full, but for me, this is an outline. I still go in and fill in the spaces. Like I said, going for a bushy eyebrow look. And also if I'm wearing makeup, they just kind of get lost if I don't use any eyebrow products. Before I fill them in, I go in with some setting powder just to make them a little less shiny. To fill in my brows, I love using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pens. You can make really fine, really small hair-like strokes with this product. But I don't use one, I don't use two. I usually use like 4 different colors. Because if you think about it, one color is flat. Real hair has dimensions and lights and darks. So I like to use different colors to make it look like hair. And I go from light to dark, starting with medium brown. Okay, I zoomed in. I'm gonna start filling in the spaces. Other side. Now going in with dark brown to fill in some spaces and then just wipe away. Already looking full. Running out of time, then I go in with some concealer and clean them up. And that's how I make eyebrows out of nothing.
Moms has alopecia and has been afraid to show off her hair.
I am bald.
But
power install. Today I'm wearing the Nola wig from Nola Wigs. You really don't need glues for these, so I'm going to show you without glue, but I always like to apply glue for that extra security. So here we are without any glue. Obviously it needs styled properly, but you can see the hairline is very seamless still. Yes, it definitely needs a style. I feel like hair grow dry now. So to glue it down, I first go in with the Got To Be Glue Blast and Freeze spray. And I do spray this directly onto my head. Everyone always freaks out when I do this, so if you've got sensitive skin, just don't do it. You can use 4 fingers to measure out your forehead, or just go with it. I just like to create my forehead size as I like. So I like to pin the hair back, but keep these sideburn sections down, so I've got something to hold on. Then the Bold Hold Liquid Gold. This glue is a day hold. You can rinse it off with just warm water, so that's why I like to use it. I don't sleep in my wigs or anything like that. So I'm first just going to apply a little amount to this top section and then lay it straight over. I then get a little rat tail comb and just like to brush it through just so some of that glue kind of shapes the hair as well. I'm really sorry, I've got a very squeaky chair. Then I go with a little bit of spray on top. And then again, just comb it through, just make sure you've got no thick sections. And this just catches any of the lace that didn't have any glue on. And I basically just repeat that step. Now for the exact same on this side section, make sure you can actually get some glue out. And I just put it all the way under and lay it flat. Again, using my trusty tail comb. If there is any sections of the lace where you kind of want to disguise it a bit, you can add a few little baby hairs. With this one, I really don't need it, but it's just an option if you want to. But if you do, you just add a little bit of spray, and then the section that you want to add it in, you kind of like comb down. Then I hold that section and then comb it back into the rest of the hair, and it creates this little baby hair. That is one side done. I'm going to quickly do the other side. That is this side done. I'm just going to grab the hairdryer and just blow it slightly on a cool set. So this is the hairline all laid down, seamless. And it does look unreal in curls, but I don't really have time, so I'm just going to straighten it today. So we do already have some heat protectant spray on it, so I'm not going to add that, but I'm just going to comb it all through. And I go in with a leave-in oil as well, just really like softens it really, and it just straightens like a dream. So aside from Platinum Blonde, this is definitely one of the lightest blondes that I do have. This is more on the natural side as well, so it's super natural blonde, and if you are looking for a wig that look like your natural hair, this might be the one. So here is the finished hair. Let me know if you've got any questions and what colour you want to see.